monopolistic competition. Market structure in which many enterprises manufacture and sell varied products and or services that are close but not perfect alternatives for one another is referred to as monopolistic competition. Now, aside from the price, the organizations are in fierce competition with one another on a variety of aspects. Market concentration and brand differentiation are two different strategies that are closely tied to each other. The term monopolistic competition refers to a type of competition that can be found in a number of businesses that are familiar to consumers in their daily lives. Restaurants, salons are all examples of service businesses. Then, we'll use the example of farmers to show the characteristics of a monopolistic competition in the marketplace. Farmers are participants of monopolistic competition since they produce the same type of products such as the crops, but crops differ from shape, size, price, and state. One type of crop can never serve as a substitute for one another. For example, sweet potatoes cannot serve as a substitute for the rice. But how do monopolistic competition occur? Well, that will be discussed by the next reporter, Sarah Marie Singong.
Monopolistic competition occurs whenever several industries offer similar products or services that are regularly consumed by a community. For example, in a grocery store, customers usually choose which product to buy, deciding what brand that product belongs to. In that instance, monopolistic competition occurs. Monopolistic competition takes place when various enterprises compete against each other to sell their products that are similar in terms of their purpose but are distinct in their own way to their market for the public consumption. It is a market situation where a variety of firms sell products that are alike but are not identical. This can also happen when people choose one product over another product as a substitute or an alternative because of factors like its price, availability in the market, or the product's content.
Monopolistic competition does not have a single and specific location to occur. In fact, since it is a common type of market structure, it can happen anywhere. There are few examples of firms and stores where monopolistic competition is commonly observed. Gasoline stations, restaurants, retail stores, and even schools and universities. Different gasoline stations, for instance like Shell, Petron, and Phoenix, offer similar products and services, that is, selling and providing gas for vehicles, and that is a monopolistic competition. We can also physically see the monopolistic competition whenever we go to department stores. In the shoe section, for instance, wherein there are multiple arrays of different brands of shoes being displayed. This indicates that while multiple brands and companies are behind each pair of shoes being displayed, all still provide similar products. It is important to note, however, that the products here are similar but not exactly identical.
Monopolistic competitions generally arise when profitable business endeavors incentivize others to pursue similar business operations. When Henry Ford revolutionized the automobiles industry by making automobiles in general affordable, he did so by introducing the moving assembly line into his production model. Seeing this, other automobile manufacturers followed in suit, incorporating their own assembly line into their own production model. Now, an example that is closer to monopolistic competition is that of the convenience stores. 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Mini-Stop, all three of these convenience stores deal with similar goods, commodity goods, everyday goods. However, they're all different in their own unique way. Now, specifically, monopolistic competitions arise when all four conditions have been achieved. Number one, when there is a large number of buyers and sellers. Number two, when there is perfect information. Number three, when there is a low entry and exit barrier. And number four, when the goods of the markets are similar but not identical.
Why does monopolistic competition occur? When there are several enterprises in an industry offering products that are similar but not identical, monopolistic competition arises. These businesses, unlike monopolies, have minimal capacity to limit supply or raise prices to increase profit. In a monopolistic competition, firms often aim to differentiate their products in order to gain higher returns than the market. Like what Farad said, monopolistic competition arises when conditions are met, and these conditions are: number one, there are a large number of buyers and sellers. This indicates that because of the enormous quantity, neither a buyer nor a seller can impact the market's demand or supply. Price setters rather than price takers are the characteristic of monopolistic competition firms. It can be simply demonstrated that price output parity can be controlled to some extent. The fact that demand for their product is highly price elastic effectively offsets the enterprise's nominal power to determine their prices. To really raise their pricing, businesses must be able to distinguish their products from those of their competitors by improving their quality, whether real or perceived. Second, there is the perfect information. In monopolistic competitive market, both buyers and sellers are believed to have perfect knowledge primarily about prices. At all times, buyers and sellers are aware of the actual price of the product charged by all firms. As a result, consumer will not incur any search expenses. Third, there is a low entry-exit barrier. New entrants can simply enter because there is no or very little hurdle to entry. The cost of starting a new firm is minimal and the risk of failing is low. As a result, there is a strong incentive to enter the market, and only few instruments are required. To put it another way, there are a lot of people who can and will compete. Lastly, the goods of the market are similar but different. In a monopolistic market, a firm produces relatively similar items that are slightly differentiated to add volume over the competition. A good example is a clothing market. There are many various sorts of clothing, each with its own distinct style. Physical, marketing, human capital, and distribution differentiation are the four ways which the differentiation can be seen.
So, who are the people involved in monopolistic competition? Many businesses compete against each other in monopolistic competition, but they produce items uniquely in some manner. Firms that compete in a monopolistic market are more likely to promote aggressively. For example, the two famous fast food chains like Burger King and McDonald's. They're both selling burgers, but their size and texture and other extras being offered to consumers are different. The entities would want to charge more to the food itself because of the location or even the ambient inside the fast food chain, and also the services they can offer to the consumers. Prices may differ to the consumers, but they're willing to pay more even though it is the same product. Just like what Ivan Opalia said, multiple brands can be seen within the specific product. So going back to my example earlier, there are many different fast food chains who sells burgers. But it is the matter of an entity on which they can offer and provide uniquely to consumers who enter and exit on the said market. So that's all. Thank you.